This is Kevin Cookin, and I'd like to take you through the presentation that we presented on March 17, 19, and 20. For the last 5 years, a group of Augsburg disciples, known as CRST, the Campus Renewal Steering Team, has been working toward this moment. Years of study, feedback, and a few challenges along the way, like a pandemic, have brought us here. We appreciate your patience and support along the way. As you can see from this slide, the feedback received from the congregation and the guidance of our congregation council led us to begin work on these goals: address deferred maintenance and repairs, as well as infrastructure and building systems; plan for ministry support improvements, including spaces for children's ministries, youth ministries, adult groups, outreach ministries, welcoming ministries, and sanctuary updates; renovate or replace the pipe organ; improve outdoor spaces and appearances; improve accessibility and sustainability across campus. From the beginning, these goals were ambitious but attainable. Along the way, the people of Augsburg have been supportive with their financial gifts and enthusiasm for the project. We have already seen some major accomplishments along the way. Our first accomplishment was the completion of the outdoor gathering space on the west end of campus. While this project began before CRST was officially formed, we recognized the importance of getting this project completed as we face the COVID pandemic. Completion of the OGS allowed us to stay better connected throughout that time, and now that space continues to be a great resource for our outdoor summer worship services, gatherings, concerts, and many children's events. In November of 2022, we completed a major project that addressed our outreach goal with the renovation of the Augsburg Community Center and a long-term lease with the Mission Fund of the North Carolina Synod to house the dwelling, City with Dwellings, and a number of other groups focused on the needs of people experiencing homelessness. Collectively, these organizations are now called the Hub at the ACC. A few weeks ago, Pastor Emily Norris shared a reflection of gratitude for our partnership after 1 year in these spaces, and she acknowledged the breadth of generosity that Augsburg extended in making the Hub at the ACC possible. The good ministry that happens in the Hub now is more than we could have ever imagined. This building now bustles with good activity and outreach ministry. With the completion of these early phase projects, we have seen how well we work with our contractor, New Atlantic Contracting. Throughout the project, they have been patient, clear in communication, willing to address changes and minor issues, and open to feedback. We know that this next phase of our campus renewal will be successful. Earlier this month, we finalized the construction drawings with our architecture team at Walter Robbs. They've done a very good job with this complicated project. They've now passed those drawings on to New Atlantic for the bidding process with multiple subcontractors. Now our partners at New Atlantic are preparing to present estimates that will result in a guaranteed maximum price, or GMP, for the project that we are presenting today. Now let me share all of the elements that we plan on including in the base project of Campus Renewal Plan. To help us orient to the different areas of the building that we will be talking about today, it's helpful to think of our campus as 3 different buildings that we identify by their build year. First is the 1927 building that contains the sanctuary. To the right is the 1957 building, where you will find the music suite, our administrative offices, and the youth area. And to your left, the 2000 building, where we find the gathering room, the nursery, the elevator, and the Family Life Center. Within each building, there are 3 levels: the upper level with entry from 5th Street, the middle level where the offices are with entry from the parking lot, and the lower level with entry from the portico or parking lots off of Pilot View. Join me now as we tour the areas that are included in our campus renewal project. I'm delighted to share these plans with you, and I hope you will share our excitement. From the beginning, we committed to address the integrity of the building envelope, which includes all of the enclosing elements of the building. As you can imagine, this is an extensive body of work, including many deferred maintenance items. Maintenance and repairs for the building envelope will include everything from new roofing on the 2000 building to gutters and flashing, repairing cracks in the stone walls, replacing window lintels, cleaning surfaces, and paint. This important work should stop leaks that have plagued the sanctuary for years and address other general maintenance concerns that have been gathering for a while. You've probably never been up here, and you may never need to go, but we will be rebuilding ladders and catwalks and adding lighting in the bell tower and attic for safer access and maintenance to the building systems. Around campus, the base project will smooth out uneven brickwork along 5th Street, address water issues in front of the West Bell Tower, renovate the ramp beside the front plaza, and fill in this old window well, allowing us to expand the stoop and step to the office, and rework this front step stoop for safe exit and entry into the church. The renderings you will see reflect the essence of the plan for our spaces, but they will not always reflect the spaces the way that they really are or the way that they will eventually look. You won't see any stained glass windows. Most of the furniture you will see is just suggested, as these details are still being reviewed. Please don't let these inconsistencies bother you. Now let's walk through the updates for the top level of the 2000 building. Let's start where we usually enter the church. It can be a bit challenging for both visitors and members to know where you are and where to go. And the doors to the gathering room, when they are open, don't open very widely. These doors will be replaced with a new, large pocket door system. We will have new wood flooring, lighting fixtures, and paint for a more expansive and welcoming entrance area. We envision that the doors will often remain open to expand this area to encourage gathering before and after worship. The current gathering room. The renovated gathering room will have flexible seating groups, a generous serving counter and coffee bar, a large screen display that will show what is going on this week, provide a way to promote future events or needs, provide navigation direction, and stream the worship services. If you need to slip out with a child who needs a break, you'll be able to stay connected to worship. Let's come back to the lobby for a minute. Notice that we can see around the corner, just beyond the stairs, into a new expanded foyer. This space, just past the lobby and outside the restrooms, will flexibly support many uses. With seating to pause and chat, wait for a friend or a family member. There will be room to set up an information table, or a collection drop-off, or a booth for an upcoming project. We'll have an eco-conscious bottle filler water fountain, and another monitor display like the one in the gathering room with our internal information stream. The women's and men's restrooms will be refurbished with new lighting, new tile, new toilet and sink fixtures, paint, and diaper changing stations in both rooms. Our children's ministries begin with Little Church. Now we are experiencing healthy growth in our young families, and we're planning for flexibility and reimagined spaces for our youngest members. Just down the corridor from the new foyer, next to the Sid Sowers classroom, is the room where we currently find Little Church. This room will be expanded into the next room, creating a larger gathering room. This flexible space will be where the children gather before breaking out for music or crafts or learning. Circles on the floor will help organize the kids. These updates will align all of our ministry spaces for young children on the 3rd floor on the same hall. The nursery will be just next door, where it currently is located. 2 breakout rooms will be across the hall from the new children's gathering space. Little Church will move to the room currently used for handbell rehearsal, connecting Little Church to the nursery for children who like to float back and forth. Handbell's rehearsal will move to the music suite in the 1957 building, beyond where the choir rehearses. New carpet, paint, and LED lighting will refresh and brighten the corridor and all the rooms all the way to the elevator. In the sanctuary, the pews, altar, pulpit, lectern, and font will be refinished. The carpet and vinyl tile will be removed and replaced with wood flooring. The font will be relocated to the center aisle, signifying the central importance of baptism. The altar will be reinstalled as a freestanding table in an enlarged chancel to support the pastoral role of celebrant, inviting us to communion. The current organ will be removed during the renovations, and the space will be prepared for the new organ, which will arrive in the spring of 2026. The entire worship experience will be more accessible and comfortable. HVAC will be replaced with a more efficient, more comfortable, and quieter system. Lighting will be upgraded to efficient LED that is color balanced for warmth, so that we can better see the hymnal, one another, and everything else. The lighting will be adjustable, allowing for flexible lighting levels for evening services. There will be a new sound system with hearing support for those with hearing aids. New integrated cameras will allow us to share a better service stream inside the building and on the internet. A new enclosed narthex will make it possible to use the front doors again, while maintaining important environmental conditions in the sanctuary. The glass panels will be detailed with leaded glass similar to the current screen and contain a mix of clear and translucent glass. Let's jump all the way to the basement of 1927. This area, where children currently gather, will become dedicated youth ministry space. New lighting, carpet, and paint will revitalize this space and provide room for gathering, breakouts, recreation, and crafts. Meals will still be served in the lower level of 1957. What we have described so far is the base project. A few other items to mention as part of the base project include a permanent sound system in the Family Life Center for general use, and more importantly, to support regular worship in the Family Life Center during construction, and while we are out of the sanctuary. We will also make some improvements to the lighting in the Family Life Center. The lower level of 1957 will still remain a shared space, available for use to all. With youth moving to the basement of 1927, one of the rooms will become a dedicated space for the quilt ministry, and the other room will become a primary meeting space for Stephen Ministry and other groups. Some of the details of our plans, like updated sound systems and cameras or new furniture, will be our direct responsibility compared to all of the renovations that will be part of the contract with New Atlantic. Also in this category are expenses related to moving worship to the Family Life Center and back, odds and ends, and in-between concerns. There are 3 parts of the project that are considered alternates to the work: the Family Life Center, and Site Work A and Site Work B. This means that planning has been included in the construction documents for these areas and that the work is being priced. The alternates will hopefully be included in the project, but if the costs are too high, the alternates will be held back and recommended for a follow-up phase of work. The Family Life Center alternate. Note that this rendering is not very accurate, so don't let it throw you off. Renovations here would clean up this multi-purpose space that supports many ministry and activity uses. Renovations here would update the doors from the portico into the elevator lobby and the doors from the elevator lobby into the Family Life Center to improve access for service projects. The door that currently leads to the hallway to the outdoor gathering space would be removed, creating a more inviting passageway. Flooring would be updated to a nicer looking laminate floor. The ceiling would be renovated to be more attractive, and improved lighting would include large pendant lights. The plan would include a new curtain for the stage. The plan also calls for new paint and a new sound system, including sound support for hearing aid wearers. Let's circle back to the site work. That is, the plans we have for the surrounding outdoor areas. This slide shows the site work included in the base bid. It would smooth out uneven surfaces along 5th Street. It will move water away from the building at 5th Street. We'll renovate the ramp next to the front plaza to be ADA compliant. There will be a new office stoop above the infilled well. Sidewalks simply will tie back into the existing walks. All other parking, sidewalks, and grounds would remain as they currently are. Here's what we hope to achieve through the site work alternate plan. A new, larger parking lot accessible from 5th Street or Pilot View with handicap and standard spots and a bike rack. New sidewalks that ramp up to the office entrance, no steps. New sidewalks that ramp up to the front of the church by way of an ascending path or a pathway with stairs. New safer stairway from the upper lot to the lower lot. Relocating the dumpster and ADA compliant handicap parking spaces in the lower lot. Overgrown trees will be removed and replaced with new size appropriate plantings. So what happens next? We expect pricing by early April. CRST will make final recommendations to Council. The lending team will be working at the same time to define the sources of funds and to plan for lending needs. Council will review and ultimately provide the recommendation to the congregation, with a detailed packet mailed to all members. The congregation will vote at a called meeting on Sunday, April 28th. We anticipate that there will probably be 3 motions for consideration. The motions will look something like this: approve the project scope, approve the contract with New Atlantic, approve the funding plan. These maintenance updates are needed, but more than that, the renewed spaces across campus will meet many of the needs that the congregation identified a few years ago. We believe that these updates will better support the ministries of the congregation now and for our future. The congregation has raised significant funds, and a reasonable lending plan will make this project possible. Now is the time to proceed. Now is the time to be bold. I'm thrilled with the progress that we've made, and I fully believe that this path leads to a dynamic and engaging future for this congregation here in the heart of Winston-Salem. Thank you for taking time to watch this presentation, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. Just give me a call or send me an email.